today India is in bull run. Next 5 years are golden 5 years for India, or next 10 years, this decade is a golden decade for India. Obviously, you want to maximize. Market में इतने products हैं, like we have discussed mutual fund है, PMS है, AIF है, direct stocks है, direct unlisted companies हैं. There are so many ways to invest. People were not investing enough in equities because they were always equating equity with risk. If you're demanding consistency, it is okay to invest in mutual funds. You can make around 15-16% done in mutual funds, and in long term, anything growing at 15, 16, 17% in long term, like in 15, 20, 30, 40 years, becomes more than 100 times. If you keep learning and we are keep educating investors, they will keep selling. And ultimately, it is like compounding plays its own, I would say, game, because it's the eighth wonder of the world. India is a country of entrepreneurs. So many companies have been working and fulfilling our needs, from FMCG to various other, I would say, categories which are not listed. And those mid-stage to late-stage companies will ultimately come up with IPOs because public markets have become bigger. SEBI also wants more and more companies to come in public markets.
सिंपल है कि इस एपिसोड में आप सबका स्वागत है। हाल ही में कई बातें हुई हैं AIFs को लेकर, जिनको हम ऑल्टरनेट इन्वेस्टमेंट फंड्स कहते हैं, पोर्टफोलियो मैनेजमेंट सर्विसेज जिसको PMS कहते हैं, वो बहुत टाइम से अवेलेबल है निवेशकों के लिए, लेकिन आजकल उस पर चर्चा और हो रही है। ये दोनों जो विकल्प हैं इन्वेस्टमेंट के, हालांकि ये एक आम निवेशक जो छोटे रकम से शुरू करना चाहती है उसके लिए नहीं है। रेगुलेटर ने, क्योंकि इनमें थोड़ी रिस्क हायर होती है, तो एंट्री लेवल भी बढ़ाई है। लेकिन जैसे जैसे भारत देश आगे बढ़ रहा है, लोगों की वेल्थ भी बढ़ रही है, और हो सकता है आपने शुरुआत छोटी की हो, लेकिन कई बार अगर आपने ठीक से इन्वेस्ट किया तो आज आपके पास इतनी वेल्थ जरूर है कि आप इन विकल्पों को भी देख सकते हैं। ऑफ कोर्स ये आपको तभी करना चाहिए जब आपके जो भी फाइनेंशियल एडवाइजर हैं वो आपको इसके बारे में जानकारी दें। आज के जो हमारे मेहमान हैं कमल मनोचा, ये फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज सेक्टर से 20 साल से भी ज़्यादा से जुड़े रहे हैं, और कुछ साल पहले, 7 साल पहले, इन्होंने PMS AIF वर्ल्ड एक अपनी कंपनी फाउंड की। उसके ये फाउंडर हैं, CIO हैं। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद कमल। जैसे मैंने कहा अपने इंट्रोडक्शन में, ये एक स्पेस है जिस पर आजकल बहुत एक्साइटमेंट है, तो अच्छा समय है। शायद आपने भी जब शुरू किया होगा ये सफ़र 7 साल पहले, आप यू वर अमंग द फर्स्ट के आपने देखा कि ये आगे चल के बड़ा एक सेक्टर बन सकता है निवेश का, एक कैटेगरी बन सकती है निवेश की। सबसे पहले तो निवेशकों को आप ये बताइए कि इनमें क्या फ़र्क है। जैसे मैंने कहा, PMS तो कई सालों से अवेलेबल रहा है लोगों को। पहले अगर आप सिंपल टर्म्स में ये समझा पाए दर्शकों को कि PMS और AIF ये हैं क्या।
Sure. First of all, thank you so much, विवेक जी, आपने मुझे मौका दिया। मतलब I am not sure if I have to talk in Hindi or English, but I am comfortable.
भाषा ठीक लगे।
Sure. So portfolio management services, as the name says, is a service. Very, very big difference. So when it comes to adopting any service, it's like you adopt a service of a doctor, an expert, or a service of a chartered accountant or a lawyer. So whereby you have a portfolio, you have a demat account, but an expert is going to manage that demat account for you. It is the expert that you have hired based on some track record for private services. It's like your personalized demat account, in which same way, the way you are buying and selling shares yourself. Now you're not doing it yourself, but it is some expert. And you have selected that expert based on his track record, based on his philosophy, based on, what were your investment objectives. Likewise, now there's another, tool to invest, which is called AIF. AIF is a fund, alternative investment fund, same like you can say a mutual fund in terms of structure. It's an extension of mutual fund. It's a pooled structure. It's not a private service that you're adopting, but hereby you're giving money to a pool whereby a lot of other equal minded fund managers with similar investment objectives are giving money to that particular fund for that fund to manage that money for you. This is the basic difference. One is a simple demat based structure where there's a personalized private management of funds for you, and hence it is a service. The other is a fund, and it is not a service. The second difference is that, in case of a PMS, you can mostly invest into listed equities, because listed equities is a core of any investor's portfolio. But if you want to go beyond listed to unlisted, which is what we call as alternate to the core portfolio, that is what is only allowed primarily in the AIF structure, obviously, which is a very vast subject. I don't want to further kind of dive into what are those unlisted equities, but broadly these are the differences.
तो पीएमएस में और जो म्यूचुअल फंड के जो स्कीम्स हैं, और आजकल बहुत कैटेगरीज खुल गई हैं, बहुत किस्म के फंड्स आ गए हैं, उनमें जो खास डिफरेंस मैं जो समझ रहा हूं, आप कह रहे हैं कि म्यूचुअल फंड में जब आप एक स्कीम लेते हैं तो जो भी फंड मैनेजर तय करते हैं आप उसके साथ चलते हैं, राइट? तो पीएमएस में क्या आप कह रहे हैं कि जो निवेशक है वो, क्योंकि ये सर्विस है जैसे आपने कही, तो उसमें उसका एक रोल बन जाता है, निवेशक का पोर्टफोलियो शिफ्ट कर सकता है बात करके अपने पीएमएस एडवाइस, कैसे, क्या डिफरेंस है दोनों में?
दोनों तरह के ऑप्शंस होते हैं, डिस्क्रिशनरी एंड नॉन डिस्क्रिशनरी. मोस्टली डिस्क्रिशनरी पीएमएस ही अच्छे होते हैं, बट देयर आर नॉन डिस्क्रिशनरी पीएमएस ऑल्सो. जो डिस्क्रिशनरी पीएमएस है उसमें डिस्क्रिशन पोर्टफोलियो मैनेजर की ही होती है. It is the portfolio manager who we have selected in the beginning, and he is the one who will take decisions. But because this is your personalized portfolio, you have full access in terms of information. Unlike in case of a mutual fund, you may not have access. You will only get a fact sheet at the end of the month that these are the stocks in terms of names and allocations in terms of numbers which are being held in your portfolio at a large pool level, at a fund level. But in case of a PMS, because it is your personal portfolio, you have a personal demat account, you are the shareholder of each and every company which is being held, and hence you have full information that I am a shareholder of these companies in these money in this percentage allocation. But there is another subcategory which is non-discretionary, whereby obviously there is a discretion of a investor as well in consultation with the fund, with the portfolio manager कि क्या buy करना है क्या नहीं buy करना.
कमल, आपने क्योंकि ये दोनों जो विकल्प हैं इनको बहुत क्लोजली स्टडी किया है, शुरू में आपने म्यूचुअल फंड्स इन सबको भी क्लोजली देखा है, बहुत फर्क है क्या इनमें रिटर्न्स में इन टर्म्स ऑफ कंपैरेटिव प्रोडक्ट? ऑब्वियसली आप किसी डेट फंड को तो पीएमएस से नहीं कंपेयर करेंगे, लेकिन जैसे कई आजकल फंड मैनेजर्स हैं जो बहुत ही फोकस्ड अप्रोच में 20, 25, 30 स्टॉक रखते हैं स्कीम में, क्या बहुत ज्यादा फर्क आपने देखा है रिटर्न्स में बनिस्बत इसके कि इसमें रिस्क ज्यादा होता है पीएमएस में?
मैं रिटर्न की बात करने से पहले, पीएमएस वर्सेस म्यूचुअल फंड की बात करने से पहले, मैं आपको ना एक और विकल्प समझाता हूँ. क्या होता है कि जब इंसान इन्वेस्ट करना शुरू करता है, and this is one very big, I would say, insight that people need to understand, that whenever it comes to investing in equity as an asset class, it is like very very important to understand this thing कि लोग सोचते हैं equity is equal to risk. Normal person, ask anybody. If I ask you also, Vivek, what comes to your mind first when you think of equity? आपके mind में पहले risk आएगा, जबकि actually the real outcome of equity is returns. And likewise, when it comes to discussing about debt, if I ask you, what comes to your mind if I talk about FD, you will first think of 5%, 6%, because you first think of, as a return. But actual outcome of debt in terms of the science of why you should invest in debt is that you want to safeguard. Hence, your focus has to be on not return, but on risk. So, if you are absolutely clear from this point of view, then, you will demand higher return from equity. और अगर आपको equity से higher return चाहिए, क्योंकि that is the objective of equity, you will obviously try to understand that yes, PMS as a structure itself, because it is a personalized structure, it gives you access to information. You will be able to get more return. It is like saying, let's imagine a period like COVID. You're invested in a mutual fund where NAVs are falling every day, and you're invested in a PMS where values are falling every day. In case of a PMS, you know the stocks that you're holding, and the stocks are giving you that insight, that light, which is helping you, sail through that dark phase. And that information gives you maybe an opportunity to see that time, which is a challenging time, as a maybe a kind of a opportune time to add more, because you have access to that information, जो कि म्यूचुअल फंड में नहीं होता. प्लस इन म्यूचुअल फंड क्या होगा कि व्हेन मार्केट्स विल फॉल, you will ultimately have nobody to talk to. Only and only person you can talk to is your maybe an advisor, if you have an advisor, and if you have a good advisor, then he may do a good job. But in case of a PMS, because it is a personalized thing, you can talk to the portfolio manager also, who's directly managing the money. That itself will give you answers to many of your concerns and will help you sail through that challenging time, and that is how you will make higher returns. And obviously, the structure, the construct is relatively more concentrated, assets are relatively less, and obviously hence the possibility of returns is higher. So अगर higher return की आपको चाह है, higher return की आपको expectation है, then obviously you have to educate yourself and understand that it is the return which is the ultimate outcome of investing in equities and asset class. And hence you obviously have to come out of your comfort of mutual fund and understand the other asset classes, the other, I would say, structures, not the asset classes, which is like PMSs. And likewise, you go next step, it is AIF, whereby you can invest in unlisted equities also and even get higher returns. So you will be able to actually appreciate the outcomes of investing in PMSs and AIF if you are able to actually understand that yes, I am investing in equity for higher return.
तो आप क्या ये मानते हैं कमल कि जैसे कई यंग निवेशक हैं, और हमने अभी डेटा भी देखा है, कोविड की आपने बात की वहां से, और ये पहले भी ऐसे होता था कि कई लोग ये मानते थे या मानते हैं कि मैं खुद अगर थोड़ी बहुत रिसर्च करूं या किसी ऐप पे जाऊं जहां से मुझे कोई अच्छी नॉलेज मिल जाए, मैं खुद स्टॉक खरीद लूं, मैं क्यों किसी और को दूं पैसे. उसमें कहीं अधिक लोग बिना अगर years ऑफ प्रैक्टिस के चले जाएं, years ऑफ लर्निंग के चले जाएं, तो पैसे भी गवा बैठते हैं. तो क्या कहीं ना कहीं आप मानते हैं पीएमएस एक म्यूचुअल फंड और डायरेक्ट स्टॉक्स के बीच का एक रास्ता है, जहां पर जैसे आपने कहा आप इक्विटी से रिटर्न्स हायर भी देख रहे हैं, लेकिन एक एक्सपर्ट भी है जिसके साथ आप बातचीत कर रहे हैं?
Absolutely, bang on. So ये एक जरिया है, ये एक तरीका है PMS through which you can not only make higher returns, but you can increase your knowledge, and both go hand in hand. Because when you know that this portfolio manager is buying this particular stock in my portfolio, and he is keeping me informed quarter on quarter by way of webinars or by way of quarterly newsletters in terms of the earnings growth of that company, in terms of sales growth of that company, in terms of market share growth of that company, irrespective of the market sentiment, irrespective of the way news flow in the macro environment is going on, you will be able to keep your greed and fear in control. And that itself, and then when you sail through that, it gives you a massive learning, and nothing succeeds, nothing is like, nothing is better than learning from your own success. Over time, when wealth is made, you learn that, and then obviously you add more, and then your decisions become better. All that happens because you see what is happening, how fund manager is behaving in various, I would say, market circumstances. So it is definitely I would say you are right in saying it is a right medium in between mutual funds and direct equity for investors to actually improve their knowledge, improve their experiences, as well as improve their returns.
पीएमएस आपके मुताबिक किस तरह के निवेशकों के लिए एडवाइजेबल है इन टर्म्स ऑफ, जैसे एक तो उसमें कैप भी है एंट्री लेवल, उसके बारे में अगर आप बता दें, क्योंकि जैसे मैंने कहा शुरू में कि म्यूचुअल फंड में तो आप अब 250 की एसआईपी कर सकते हैं, यहाँ पर जो एंट्री लेवल है वो हायर है, तो थोड़ा उसके बारे में. और क्या आप मानते हैं कि ये एक नेक्स्ट स्टेप है जब आप अपना नॉर्मल पोर्टफोलियो जो है, जो फाइनेंशियल प्लान है, पोर्टफोलियो नहीं, जो फाइनेंशियल प्लान है, वो आप एक बार जब बन जाए आपका, उसके बाद में जो आप जिस पर रिस्क ज्यादा ले सकते हैं उसी को कंसिडर करें, तो किस तरह के स्टेज पे लाइफ स्टेज को एक निवेशक को इसको कंसिडर करना चाहिए?
सी जब आप स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं अपनी जर्नी, देन ऑब्वियसली म्यूचुअल फंड इज अ वेरी गुड स्ट्रक्चर, बिकॉज म्यूचुअल फंड विल गिव यू access to start with small amount like you mentioned, and then obviously sail through that journey, learn that, and once you have accumulated sufficient wealth, it is like sufficient wealth should be at least, I would say, 2.5 to 3 crores, because minimum ticket size in case of PMS is 50 lakhs, and you should not allocate more than, I would say, 20% to one particular structure. At that stage, when you have at least 2.5 crore of a portfolio of equities, you should think of investing into a structure like PMS, because PMS then now, based on your wealth that you have created, is going to give you better return, and you are ready to understand how higher knowledge and better knowledge about stocks, sectors, and what fund manager is doing in terms of his decisions is going to further enhance your experience. At that stage, it makes very good sense. It is not meant for everybody, and we call it like, in our sense, that our target audience are all those people who are in their, I would say, mid 30s, or maybe early 40s and above, because obviously it is like with time that you get these experience, these, I would say, readiness to be able to accept and ultimately invest into structure like a PMS, and obviously likewise in AIF.
आपने कमल एक बहुत अच्छी बात कही कि अक्सर क्या होता है कि हम इससे फैसिनेट हो जाते हैं कि म्यूचुअल फंड वर्सेस एक्स, ये प्रोडक्ट वर्सेस वाई, इसमें ही हम उलझ के बैठे रहते हैं। लेकिन आपने जो वर्ड यूज किया स्ट्रक्चर, ये मुझे बहुत बढ़िया लगा और सिंपल लगा समझने के लिए, कि जैसे म्यूचुअल फंड एक स्ट्रक्चर हुआ, पीएमएस एक स्ट्रक्चर हुआ, डायरेक्ट इक्विटी एक स्ट्रक्चर हुआ, एआईएफ एक स्ट्रक्चर हुआ, और जैसे आपने कहा कि किसी एक स्ट्रक्चर में सारे पैसे अपने डालने का मतलब नहीं होना चाहिए। ये बहुत अच्छी तरह से आपने समझाया, और ये थंब रूल जो आपने दिया, क्योंकि अक्सर लोग म्यूचुअल फंड वर्सेस पीएमएस, तो ऐसा इधर और नहीं होता लाइफ में। कई बार बैलेंस के लिए, हर चीज के लिए आप, जैसे आपने कहा, 20-25% आप रखिए, डिपेंडिंग ऑन आपकी क्या क्षमता है, क्या आपका गोल।
Absolutely. And मैं आपको एक और बात बताता हूँ, I am a student of economics, and what economics has taught me is that life is all about trade-off, and it is like how people kind of make money and behave with money is another thing that I have always observed. So क्या होता है कि when it comes to ideally selecting between these products, you have to understand what is the trade-off that you're looking for. Are you wanting to trade off liquidity with higher return? If you can trade off liquidity for higher return, then go for AIF, because AIFs will definitely demand longer time horizon. AIF will invest into some less liquid instruments, and with sacrificing liquidity, you will get higher returns. Today, in case of unlisted equities, the taxation is similar to listed equities, and hence obviously investing in unlisted equities relatively has become more attractive as another, I would say, way of making money. But again, it is not that simple. You cannot do that yourself. There are many investors who are kind of trying to invest in unlisted equities themselves, thinking and seeing that there is a quick boom which is going on. It's absolutely very risky. All that should be attempted through a structure like AIF, but only when, again, I'm saying, not for everybody, when you have a minimum portfolio of at least 7.5 to 10 crores. So for those investors who are prepared to trade off, that yes, now I'm ready to trade off my liquidity for higher return, go for AIF. Those investors who are ready to trade off investing into concentrated structure for higher return and hence take higher risk of volatility, go for PMS, because that's a structure which obviously will have more volatility when markets will be kind of on the downward trend.
बहुत बहुत अच्छी तरह से, सिंपल तरीके से आपने इस बात को समझाया कि अपनी जो एक्सपेक्टेशंस हैं उन्हें मैनेज करिए और तभी घुसिए। ऐसा नहीं है कि एंट्री लेवल है तो क्रॉस कर गई तो घुस गए। जैसे आपने कहा कि एक सर्टन अमाउंट वेल्थ होनी चाहिए और उसका 20% आपका जो है वो एक स्ट्रक्चर में होना चाहिए। ऑल्टरनेट्स जब कहते हैं तो कमल, इसका क्या मतलब है? ऑल्टरनेट इन्वेस्टमेंट फंड, आपने पहले कहा जैसे कि अनलिस्टेड सिक्योरिटीज हो गई, वो एक ऑल्टरनेट हो गया फ्रॉम द स्ट्रक्चर जो भी अपना लिस्टेड यूनिवर्स जिसके बारे में ज्यादा डिस्कशन होती है। और क्या क्या आता है ऑल्टरनेट्स में, मतलब ऐसी क्या चीजें हैं ऑल्टरनेट्स में जो मैं म्यूचुअल फंड के जरिए नहीं खरीद सकता?
Alternates में, really speaking, there are things like unlisted equities, which itself is a very vast area. You can invest in unlisted equities at very early stage startups, deep tech kind of companies which are mushrooming in India and which ultimately will shape the future of India. You cannot attempt to invest with companies which are coming out of institutions like IIT Madras, IIT Mumbai, and many other institutions in India. Like India is also working, hand in gloves. Institutions are working hand in gloves with I would say some of these aspirational entrepreneurs. Like we have seen, Stanford has made Silicon Valley. In India, that concept is happening. So that is alternate. That is a alternate to listed equities. Then you move ahead. There are many mid-stage companies which are like, India is a country of entrepreneurs. So many companies have been working and fulfilling our needs, from FMCG to various other, I would say, categories which are not listed. And those mid-stage to late-stage companies will ultimately come up with IPOs because public markets have become bigger. SEBI also wants more and more companies to come in public markets, and hence they are another alternate asset class, and that is defined by SEBI as category 1, category 2, and then category 3. And obviously category 1, which is early stage investing, which I just explained, it's like deep tech kind of companies. Then mid stage, which is category 2, which is like pre-IPO companies or companies which are in a growth phase, which have already kind of tested waters and now they're raising money to grow their business. And then obviously it's a third, which is category 3, which is listed, which is normal, like, I would say listed space. But there also, because it is an alternate way of investing, the alternate style whereby you are allowed to do leveraging, you can do hedging, and derivatives can be used, that makes that normal listed asset class in category 3 also as an alternate to a listed asset class.
और ये जो आजकल खासकर आप देख ही रहे हैं कि जिस तरह से गोल्ड, सिल्वर ये सब बढ़ रहे हैं, तो लोगों का बहुत रुझान कमोडिटीज की तरफ भी हो गया है कि सिर्फ ज्वेलरी क्यों लें, गोल्ड में इन्वेस्ट करें, देखिए इतना रिटर्न आया इसमें। तो ये सब चीजें भी ऑल्टरनेट में ये लोग जो फंड्स हैं ये करते हैं?
नहीं करते। सो दीज आर, आई वुड से, ये ट्रेडिशनल एसेट क्लासेस ही हैं। अगर हम गोल्ड को ऑल्टरनेट स्टाइल से करें, इन टर्म्स ऑफ गोल्ड फ्यूचर्स में इन्वेस्ट करें, सिल्वर फ्यूचर्स में इन्वेस्ट करें, जो कि फंड्स नहीं करते, then it will become alternate. Otherwise it's a traditional, I would say, real asset, tangible real asset, like it is real estate, all any other precious metal or any other normal metal. It is the normal traditional asset class.
क्योंकि किसी से मैं बात कर रहा था इसी शो पर, उन्होंने कहा जैसे कि सरकार जो इतना इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बना रही है, रोड्स हो गए, सोलर पावर हो गए, ये सब हो गए, ये भी ऑल्टरनेट में उसकी वो इक्विटी खरीद लेते हैं, उस रोड के स्ट्रेच की या इतने सोलर पावर की। ये भी एक विकल्प बन जाता है आपके लिए अनलिस्टेड स्पेस में कुछ ओन करना।
बिल्कुल, ये ऑल्टरनेट एसेट क्लास है, करेक्ट।
और उसमें आईपीओ शायद ना हो, लेकिन आपको सरकार एक इंटरेस्ट दे देती है, तो उससे फिर आपको और लिस्टेड होके आप उससे जनरेट कर सकते हैं एक मतलब एनुअल फिक्स्ड इनकम। तो इस तरह की कई चीजें होती हैं।
करेक्ट। सी देखो क्या है कि जैसे देयर आर टू एसेट क्लासेस, इक्विटी एंड डेट। वो दोनों एसेट क्लासेस ऑल्टरनेट्स में भी हैं। ऑल्टरनेट्स में भी आप अल्टीमेटली किसी को प्राइवेट लैंडिंग करो या गवर्नमेंट के किसी प्रोजेक्ट में एज अ आई वुड से लेंडिंग इन्वेस्ट करो, दैट बिकम्स अ डेट एज एन एसेट क्लास। अगर आप किसी स्टार्टअप में इन्वेस्ट करो एज अ इक्विटी, दैट बिकम्स एन इक्विटी ओरिएंटेड अल्टरनेट एसेट क्लास। अगर आप किसी स्टार्टअप को एज अ वेंचर को डेट दो, दैट बिकम्स अ वेंचर डेट एज एन एसेट क्लास। सो डेट और इक्विटी दोनों साइड रहते हैं, चाहे वो ट्रेडिशनल एसेट क्लास हो चाहे वो अल्टरनेट एसेट क्लास हो।
और इसमें क्या एंट्री लेवल होती है कमल एआईएफ में?
मिनिमम 1 करोड़, बट अगेन जैसे पीएमएस में है 1 करोड़, बट बहुत सारे ऐसे पीएमएस हैं जो एक्चुअली में अच्छे पीएमएस हैं, जो अल्फा फोकस है, उनकी टिकट साइज इवन मोर देन 1 करोड़ होती है। सम हैव इवन 2 करोड़ और 5 करोड़। Likewise in case of AIFs, it is minimum by SEBI is 1 crore, but it is dependent on the investment manager and dependent on the company, the asset management company. They can keep it even 5 crore.
तो जो HNIs हैं जिनको हम कहते हैं, जो अब तक या तो डायरेक्ट इक्विटी में करते थे या PMS में करते थे या म्यूचुअल फंड में निवेश करते थे, क्या आप उनका रुझान देख रहे हैं शिफ्ट होते हुए टुवर्ड्स AIFs एंड द न्यू PMS schemes?
Absolutely. See, again, होता क्या है कि ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ HNI is again just a term. It ultimately depends.
वेल्दी कह लीजिए जिन्होंने
वेल्दी कह सकते हैं, बिल्कुल एब्सोल्युटली. बट क्या है ना कि वेल्दी में भी 2 तरह के लोग हैं. एक वो हैं जो इतना वेल्थ कमा चुके हैं, like they are family offices and very big in terms of the wealth creation, and now for them more important is कि कंसिस्टेंसी रहे रिटर्न में, लॉन्ग टर्म में रिटर्न में कंसिस्टेंसी आती रहे. जिनको कंसिस्टेंसी लॉन्ग टर्म में रिटर्न में चाहिए वो म्यूचुअल फंड की तरफ ही ज्यादा रहते हैं. लेकिन जो वो इन्वेस्टर्स हैं जिनको अल्फा चाहिए, who want return to come in next 5 years, I want to beat the benchmark in next 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, वो वाले जो निवेशक हैं, वो वाले जो इन्वेस्टर्स हैं, they are also HNIs. They may not be very wealthy, but again it depends. Many wealthy people would want कि 5-year रिटर्न. सो इट इज नॉट कि एक HNI है या नहीं है, HNI नहीं है, उससे हम इसको डिस्टिंग्विश नहीं कर सकते. हम डिस्टिंग्विश करेंगे व्हाट इज योर एक्सपेक्टेशन, व्हाट इज योर आई वुड से अल्टीमेट डिमांड. इफ यू आर डिमांडिंग कंसिस्टेंसी, it is okay to invest in mutual funds. You can make around 15-16% done in mutual funds, and in long term anything growing at 15-16-17% in long term, like in 15-20-30-40 years, becomes more than 100 times. बट अगर आपको बहुत लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए नहीं सोच सकते, आपको 5 साल is the objective, I would say, thing that you have in your mind, then obviously you can't miss. Like if we say today India is in bull run, next 5 years are golden 5 years for India, or next 10 years, this decade is a golden decade for India. Obviously you want to maximize this decade, and anybody who is in his 40s wants to maximize that I am in my 40s, in next 10 years I am in my peak of my career, peak of my savings. I want to ultimately get best possible returns. And in last 10 years, in my 30s, I have invested in mutual funds. I have learned, I have achieved this level whereby I have seen, periods like COVID and maybe periods like subprime crisis. And I am now aware कि equity markets कैसे behave करती हैं. I can handle PMS. I can handle AIF. And I want alpha. I do not want to pay a fund manager just for giving me returns same like an index. And at that stage, definitely my search for PMS and AIF will start. And that is where, we as PMS AIF world will come and help that client.
आपने अपने करियर में तरह के इन्वेस्टर्स देखे हैं. कहीं आपने हैंड होल्ड करके, अब वो HNIs होंगे, वेल्दी होंगे, और PMS AIF वर्ल्ड में तो ऑब्वियसली जो भी आ रहे हैं वो ऑलरेडी वेल्दी हैं. तो वेल्दी लोगों की ऐसी क्या 1-2 हैबिट्स जो आपने देखी अपने करियर में जिससे कि वो वेल्दी बन जाते हैं? देखिए, सैलरी आजकल बढ़ गई हैं, यंग लोग हैं, अच्छी सैलरीज पे आ रहे हैं कुछ सेक्टर्स में, सब में नहीं कह रहा मैं. रिस्क्स भी बढ़ गए हैं, जॉब ले ऑफ्स के एक सेक्टर, लेकिन अब ESOPs की स्टोरी एक बार फिर शुरू हो गई है. लोग वेल्थ बना रहे हैं, कई लोग 4-4, 5-5 जगह काम कर रहे हैं. तो क्या ऐसी हैबिट्स हैं आपके मुताबिक कमल जो वेल्दी लोगों को और वेल्दी बना देती हैं, जो ठीक से इन्वेस्ट करते हैं, जो ठीक से, तो वो क्या सोचते हैं, उनके मन में क्या आपके मुताबिक, क्योंकि आप इनसे रूबरू रहते हैं, क्या आपके मुताबिक इनकी सोच होती है?
सो जो वेल्दी इन्वेस्टर्स हैं उनको पूरी पहली बात तो क्लैरिटी होती है कि सब कुछ वो खुद नहीं कर सकते. दे नो दैट फॉर गेटिंग better outcome they need expert in the life, and they don't waste their time in trying to delve in stocks themselves or trying to invest in some of these structures directly. They identify a good wealth manager, they identify a good advisor, and they are confident because they are kind of wealthy. They are confident, and hence वो necessarily बड़े brands की तरफ नहीं जाते, वो उन लोगों की तरफ जाते हैं जो really value add कर रहे हैं. और उन फंड्स की तरफ जाते हैं, चाहे वो बुटीक हो, बट वो ऑब्जेक्टिवली अल्फा क्रिएट कर रहे हैं. सो दे आर वन, obviously aware that yes, I need experts to help me. Secondly, in their search, they are confident and they will not necessarily invest with brands. They will go with people and funds based on their own objectivity, and they, because they know how to take decisions, they have kind of dealt with situations, and that is how they have become wealthy, and they have had those learnings. And obviously they do not only and only focus on kind of things like, I want to worry about markets too much, I want to do reviews, and kind of get best returns always, because unko pata hai कि markets are non-linear, equity requires patience, and one should not disturb one's own health beyond a point, one's own sleep beyond a point, and give it to, I would say, expert for long term, and they remain with that expert and advisor in long term, and that is how ultimately, they are able to take care of their own time well, and are able to get best outcome, and obviously are not able to disturb their sleep, and also are able to kind of continue to making wealth.
कमल, ये जो आपने कंपनी फाउंड की PMSAF वर्ल्ड, इसका क्या विजन है आगे के लिए आपके लिए? क्योंकि ये जो स्पेस है तो बढ़ती जा रही है, इसमें तो कोई डाउट ही नहीं है. फंड्स आ रहे हैं, तरह तरह के न्यू लाइसेंसेस रोज पड़ते हैं, फंड रेजिंग भी बहुत हो रही है. क्या आपका विजन है इसकी?
See, vision is to keep creating, I would say, real success stories of wealth creation. Because क्या है कि मार्केट में इतने प्रोडक्ट्स हैं, लाइक वी हैव डिस्कस्ड, म्यूचुअल फंड है, PMS है, AIF है, डायरेक्ट स्टॉक्स है, डायरेक्ट अनलिस्टेड कंपनीज हैं. देयर आर सो मेनी वेज टू इन्वेस्ट, and within that there are so many fund managers, there are so many stories fund managers have, from stories which are like, I can say, consistent compounding to next $1 trillion opportunities, to so many, and all these philosophies are sailing around with stories. And people, when they attempt to invest in equities, they are themselves having fear as well as greed in their mind. So to educate investors, first of all, that at the asset allocation level, that they should invest in equity, and they should invest in equity for return, is a very foremost, very important function that we have been doing, and we'll continue to do that. It's a journey, it's a very long term journey. Then obviously, once investors are educated and they are ready to accept right asset allocation, that yes, equity means returns, and I need returns, and I deserve returns, because I'm living in a country like India, which is obviously growing, at a very good pace. And not only today, it's a very long term journey, and I have a long term horizon, and hence equity is my asset class, and I need to put that at that level, educating the investor. And that is why we constantly do webinars, constantly keep educating our clients and investors in general. So the foremost, I would say, vision that I have carried when I founded PMSAF World, is to educate investors, because at asset allocation level, if you are educated and you do right decisions, you absolutely, ultimately, outcome will be good. And then eventually this education is like ongoing, because markets go through, I would say, various phases, and in every phase, if you keep learning and we are keep educating investors, they will keep selling. And ultimately it is like compounding plays its own, I would say, game, because it's the eighth wonder of the world. Ultimately everything, eventually, from the point of view of investors portfolio, our assets will eventually compound as an outcome of this entire work we are doing. And eventually the end objective, as you said, what is the vision, will be really creating a real wealth creation story of investors, and really creating happy investors, which is actually, something which was missing when I was working in the corporate world. I never saw investors really happy, because there were these problems. People were not investing enough in equities, because they were always equating equity with risk. Then within equities, they were mostly investing in large caps again, or balanced funds, or hybrid funds, because there again they were equating, equity with risk, and they were trying to reduce, kind of minimize risk while investing in equities. And obviously, hence, and there was no continued education from the point of view of advisors and companies, and that is where the outcome was not really, I would say, massive wealth creation, and hence there was no really happiness. Investors used to feel that my portfolio is not even increasing in line with Nifty or Nifty 500, which are the benchmarks, and obviously that is where investors were not happy. But that real happiness of investors in terms of creating real wealth creation as a story is the real vision that we had. But it is a process, as I explained.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद कमल आने के लिए, और बहुत अच्छी तरह से सिंपल तरीके से, शो का नाम ही सिंपल है, आपने समझाया सब कुछ। विश यू ऑल द वेरी बेस्ट, थैंक यू वेरी मच। और आपसे बात होती रहेगी क्योंकि ये स्पेस भी बढ़ती रहेगी, और इस तरह का जो आपने एक्सप्लेनेशन दी निवेशकों को, इस पर हम फिर आते रहेंगे बार बार। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Sure, sure, sure. My pleasure. It was equal pleasure conversing with you, Vivek. Thank you.